Hey friends, hope everybody's having a really good day. It's a beautiful day in Texas. I'm sitting on my front porch and I want to give you some prophetic words and thoughts I've got this week, and also for the next 2 or 3 weeks coming. The Lord has really been speaking to me about what to really expect. Probably about 2 weeks before the coronavirus took over the news, the Lord was really speaking to me about opposition was coming, and it was going to come in the form of a blanket of fear over America, kind of like a fog. Then the Lord had really spoke to me about stay, laser focused in that season, and also be ready to make just huge acceleration and huge advancements towards the things that I've called you to. And then the Lord went on to show me that there were going to be people, kind of like, imagine this, that there was going to be like a fog, and like when people are driving, that people pull over on the side of the road. The Lord spoke to me and said, this is not a time that you stop, but it's a time that you keep moving forward and advance. And so whenever this opposition came, the coronavirus hit, and just the media just made a huge fear base on everything. There was no positive outlook on anything. In any situations, Philippians 4:8 is very plain. It says, think upon the things that are good, that are noble, that are just, that are praiseworthy. Think upon these things. You can find something good in everything if you look for it. Unfortunately, the news has not been looking on anything good. So what the Lord has been speaking to me during this season is the word build. To really focus on what that you need to build. And like I said, the Lord referenced it to me kind of like fog. And this morning when I was in my early morning prayer time, it was like I saw two different options. One, it was like I saw the fog starting to lift, and there was a strong army behind the fog ready for battle. And then another vision I saw was like the fog lifting, and it was weak, paralyzed people laying on sick beds. And the Lord was really showing me that the American church has to rise up right now and really choose which one it's going to be. When this fog lifts, are we going to be an answer? Are we going to be strong? Are we going to be ready to build? Are we ready to go out and be hope to the world? So, but before you have actually build, you build yourself up. See, our ministry that we do is an overflow of our personal relationship with Jesus Christ. So we've got to build ourselves up right now. We've got to put our hands to what God has called us to do, and we got to keep moving forward in that. The problem is there's a lot of people right now who are scared. They're full of fear. And whenever the fog lifts, whenever, they release all of these restrictions, people aren't going to be ready to do the work that God has called them to do. But I believe, and I know 100%, that right now, during this season that we are in, it is a building season. Like I said, the Lord spoke to me about 2 weeks before the media started talking about all of this, that we were going to face opposition, but to be laser focused and to drive right through the fog with acceleration and with extreme advancement in my mind. And because the people that are on the side of the road in that vision, whenever the fog lifted, it was like a traffic jam trying to come out. Well, I will not leave this next season confused. I will not leave this season confused, and I will not enter into the next season confused, because I know who I am in God, and I know what I've been called to do, and I know the prophetic words over my life. So I will be moving forward. So what I encourage you to do, in the end of March and the first few weeks in April, build everything that God has called you to do. Build what the Lord has put into your heart. Now, I'm going to give you another word God gave me. I was in early morning prayer yesterday, and the Lord gave me the prophetic word sales. And as I started really praying, the Lord started talking to me about it's time that you start getting your sails ready to cast up. Now think about that. I actually looked up the word sails, and the sails means a piece of cloth, a fragment of a piece of cloth. So what is that? That is the definition of the word remnant. That a piece of cloth that is thrown up in the appropriate time to catch a fresh wind to move something forward. That's what the word a sail is. So we're going to get our sails ready, and in the right season, we're going to throw our sails up. And from the definition of the word sails, it will catch a fresh wind and it will move us forward. Now, this is what the Lord spoke to me. The Lord said, yes, when you throw your sails up, when I tell you to throw your sails up and you throw yours up, you are going to catch a fresh wind of the Holy Spirit and you're going to move forward. The thing is, for the majority of believers, it's not going to move in the direction they think that it's going to move. So what you got to understand, I've been reading prophecies by Chuck Pierce, Lana Vawser, Nate Johnson, Jeremiah Johnson, all of them, and they're all saying the same thing, that when we come out of this season that we're in right now, the church is not going to look the same, that there is going to be a new era. Dutch Sheets has been prophesying that for 2 years now, that there is going to be a new era. And when we step into this, it's going to be a season of the Ephesians 2:20 church. It's going, Ephesians 2:20, that the church was built by the teachings of the apostles, the words given by the prophets, with Jesus Christ being the chief cornerstone. Jesus Christ is about to become the cornerstone, the building block of the church again. We've got to be people of fasting and prayer in this hour, because the world is hungry to see a real church. They're ready to see Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and Acts lived out. They're ready to see that lived out. So when we come out of this season that we're in, it's going to be completely different. And it's going to be a time of reformation. And I know that revival is upon us. And when we come out of this, whatever you want to call it, quarantine, this season, that we're going to come out strong. Chuck Pierce prophesied that there's a pause moment. Sit back, reflect, restore, refill, rejuvenate, go forward. Lana Vawser said that it's a Selah moment for you to stop and take a break and really focus on what you're supposed to do, then go forward. Nate Johnson said this is not a shutdown, but this is a startup. And another prophetic word that the Lord spoke to me about is, the Lord said that this is going to be a launching pad, that this season that we're in right now, you have a few weeks right now to get ready to use this season as a launching pad. Spend extra time in prayer, spend extra time in the Word, and spend extra time with your family. Do what you need to do in this season. Get ready for the things that God has called you to do. And then the last thing that the Lord spoke to me is, get ready for the lifting of the fog. And in some areas, in some cases, the fog's already starting to lift. I don't want the fog to completely lift from your life and you look around and you've been paralyzed with fear. Well, then everything is already moving, then you're going to have to play catch up. What God is looking is for the remnant of people. He's looking for the sails, the people who will work on their sails. And in the right moment, when God says, lift your sails, you throw the sails up, the fresh wind of the Holy Spirit hits those sails and pushes people forward, launches people forward in this direction. So the word the Lord gave me before 2020 even started, there were 3 words. It was focus, acceleration, and advancement. And those 3 words are truer today than ever before. You've got to be focused right now on what God is doing, what God is saying. And listen, turn the news off. Don't listen to any more junk right now. This is a season that you need to be listening to what God is saying, because God is moving and God is advancing. And if you could see what is coming to the church, if you could see what is coming to the church of America and around the globe, it is going to be powerful. 2020 is going to be powerful. It's going to be a strong year for the church. So you've got to get ready. This is a good season right now, a pause, a Selah moment for you to stop and really focus in on what the Lord is saying over your life and to move forward. And remember, friends, this is a building season. You need to get ready to build. My wife and I are trying to get everything in our life in order, because we know that when this fog lifts, it is go time for us. In fact, when this fog lifts for us, the Roar Church, Texarkana, is going to have a new church home. The Roar Apostolic family is going to have a new church home, because we're moving into a new building. They should be finished with it within the next 7 to 10 days. I'm so excited about that. So remember, stay focused and build in this season, because your day of acceleration and advancement is upon you. And you are going to do everything that God said you were going to do. And God will fulfill every promise that He gave you. And every prophetic word you've been called to do, you will do it.